I'm curious, you're working with a subject who's very media trained. So when you embarked on interviewing Eugene, like, what was that process and how did you break through to, find her?
Interesting, because actually, I don't know if she's that media trained, honestly. I mean, I think she used to be, but she is so much herself, as you see. It is just completely unfiltered, and actually, I think it was causing her some problems early on when she first came out with her story. She was just off the cuff so much and completely, she said a few things that were misinterpreted and used against her, and Robbie had to really tamp her down. And when they were prepping for the trial as well, it was, she had to say, Eugene, you don't have to, when people ask you how you are, you don't have to say, I'm amazing every time. You don't have to say, I'm fabulous, I'm ecstatic, because that's just her go-to. And I think that's an interesting thing to think about. I mean, but people who have been traumatized have this like kind of grandiose personality, bigger, larger than life personality. Anyway, so yeah, I didn't have to do much there.
But it affected the editing because I came onto the project after you'd been working on it for a while, and because she can be unfiltered and quirky. I noticed that you had to fall in love with her first before you got that side of her.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I could add, I mean, and I think because I was working on it for so long and, stopping and starting for various reasons, the trials or unable to raise money or whatever it is, I got to know Eugene so well and got so attached to her that I think I started to lose some perspective myself. And so it was really important when Fern came on to edit, which was, we'd already had a rough cut that just was not working. And now in retrospect, I can look back and say that I think part of it was that I didn't have enough distance, which you have to have as a filmmaker. You can't get I didn't see that she was as, maybe her eccentricity would not lend itself to an audience wanting to go along with her or believe her. And it's so delicate that way. So yeah, it was really important.
Okay, one quick question about archival before I throw it to you guys. The archival is amazing in the film. Really, the use of archival, the editing of the archival. Maybe Fern, you can start and talk about how you decided from this massive archive.
Well, Ivy will tell you there were only 3 interviews for various reasons. Right, 3 or 4? 4. Because it was during COVID. It was, her lawyer, Robbie, was very careful about letting the filmmakers in. And so the story had to really come alive with the archival. And then they were gifted the depositions, which wasn't always the case. So
We didn't know we would get those from the beginning.
The depositions,
The video depositions,
yeah. And nobody has seen them.
That's gold. That's gold for a filmmaker, for a doc filmmaker.
Yeah.
Oh, let's throw it out, guys.
sorry.
Yeah, go.
What about those scenes with Lisa Birnbaum?
Burnback, yeah. Well, no, I'll tell you, but I just wanted to follow up with that on the depositions, because it is really interesting. It makes you think about how many depositions are out there that no one has ever seen, right? Because they were never entered into evidence in the trial, either trial, they were never going to be made public. Robbie Kaplan and Eugene had to sign them over to me, and it was an act of absolute trust. It was a gift, and I had no idea there was even a possibility when we started making this film. I didn't know. I didn't even know they're going to go to trial. That's how early we started. So, with the Trump depositions, 45 minutes of his depositions were made public because they were entered into trial. So we just were able to get those off of YouTube, because they would have never given them to us. Yeah. So it's
no.
But again, I really didn't know for a long time how we were going to tell the story of the trial, because all we had was news footage, and that's
Yeah, they
not
can only
going to do
sustain.
that for a
yeah.
film.
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, you didn't really want her to have to tell the story.
right.
So we were able to sort of weave together her telling it in the book, and following her.
Yeah.
Questions.
So you were talking about
Oh, yeah.
Lisa Burnback scene.
You had 4 interviews with her, and so you mentioned that you only had 4 interviews with Eugene, but what about
But good point
the
with
the Lisa Burnback
Yes.
scenes at Waverly? How was that put together?
Yeah, well, I had the idea that I wanted. Well, first of all, early on, I decided I didn't want this film to be us spending time with other people talking about E. Jean, which is what happens with a lot of films that are a profile of someone, right? I wanted it all to be her voice or her. And then when it became so clear how important those friendships were to both the trial and to her life and in general, and really became a story of female friendship, I thought if we could bring them together instead of have Lisa talk about, to the camera or to me, see them together and see their relationship. If we could pull that off, it would have been so much more powerful, and it really worked beautifully. So yeah, that's how that. Yeah, well, I mean, they're not really acting. They're getting back into their mode of being together and talking over things. I mean, I didn't feel that they were acting. I mean, they were retelling the story. Of course, it wasn't the first time they'd talked about it. But the friendships. But there were some real moments there, like when Lisa says, "Well, you dedicated your book to me," and I mean, she hadn't said that to Eugene before. That was kind of a turning point for her. So there were some revelations between them that we get to witness. Yeah.
Other questions over here?
I don't know if this is
We heard that, and we love you for that.
Thank you. That's very nice.
it's a comment and a question. What was fascinating to me is the fact it's clear she has not done therapy because she doesn't have the words to describe what a dissociative state is when you're a sexual trauma survivor and of that era. And I think the question I had for you was, were you aware of that when you were editing and putting it together?
Wow. I mean, I was aware from the beginning that I was interested in her as a member of the silent generation, which is what you're talking about, and that I wanted to try to unpack what that means and show the evolution of her realizing that she's a member of the silent generation and that personally it had silenced her and that's why the depositions are so powerful, because like Fern said, I didn't want to spend my precious time interviewing her, making her tell that story again to me. I had read it. I know she wrote about it in her book. We had the audiobook and the video. So luckily, because we didn't get to film with her that much, I got to talk about all the other things with her. But she, I think, once we realized that once we saw the video deposition where you can see that, and that she's still, even at the end, is saying, I still blame myself, and all of that is I thought it was such an important thing for all of us to see, because it's what so many people go through, and you don't ever really get to see it in real time like that. So yeah, I mean, it was. This film always felt like such a bigger story than just Trump or Eugene's life, which is fantastic, but it's a much bigger story about collective trauma of women and what we go through. But I don't know if you have a comment on that.
I
But
think
the editing of it, but anyway, sorry.
Questions? Back there, a gentleman back there.
Loosely termed. What an incredible film. So thank you. Thank you. And I can't wait till everyone can see it. Truly. And my question isn't necessarily about your film, and maybe it's something that can help a lot of us, but you lived inside this for so long, right? All of you. where do you put your anger and frustration? Because that is one of the most frustrating documentaries I've ever watched. Like, where do you put your anger? And yes, we can all go to a rally and we can all maybe make a movie, but like we also have to live our own lives and do things every day. How did you live inside of that? I guess I have two questions. How did you live inside of that for so long without just screaming from the top of a building? And what do you do with your frustrations every day over what we're all living through?
Wow. How much time do you guys have?
Yeah.
I mean, it is an interesting question because I think what happens to me, at least, I become obsessed with this story, and I put it all in. So my, and it's quite distracting and takes up a lot of your, even just like, is this film going to get made? How am I going to actually get it made? How am I going to raise the money? So I'm constantly trying to convince other people of the importance of it. And that's where I think I get a lot out of, like just, I don't know, making the case and like, and pitching and getting people involved, getting people to care. When I get people to care about Eugene, whether it's our team or funders or now audiences, that's like gives me
That is what your film does. It makes you care. Thank you. I love this mic. No, really, it's a good one. It does make you care and see beyond the headlines and beyond the 83 million. Won't she be fortunate?
Well, I know. We're so dismissive of. Even when she was telling her story, on all those news programs and. I think that's where it enraged me that people didn't believe her. It enraged me that Trump was I'll tell you what is satisfying, to put Trump in there looking like the total fool that he is. That is gratifying to pick those.
That scene with the photograph is epic.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that clip before, but I didn't realize what he was basically doing was completely implicating himself by saying, she's not my type, but there she is. That's my wife, Marla Maples, who is exactly your type.
The editing.
No,
Thank you, the editor.
It is.
Well, the editor is a queen.
Well, the editing, it's true because we did not. Some of you probably heard that story, but you don't really get it until you see it
in
play
context,
out like
in
that,
where it
in
is,
context.
in the edit.
About Ivanka when I saw that clip before.
Oh, okay.
But can I tell you that
Yeah.
we edited that, and I was like, it was driving me crazy because I felt like it needed another beat, and then I just went on this deep dive. I'm like, how can I show the audience how much they look alike? And then I found that meme. That was just
Somebody
like a
had that out
gift.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But before I forget, speaking of not my type, this sweater, and I'm wearing it for a reason. So the company Lingua Franca has joined with us. They put out a line of an e-jean line, and they're donating 20% of the profits to the film so that we can help us keep getting it out there, which is wonderful. And so you can order these, go on Lingua Franca, and you can get Not My Type, He's Not My Type, Fate Loves the Fearless, or Fearless. And you can pick all your colors.
Woo-hoo.
Anyway, it's really wonderful that.
Okay, we have time for two more questions. I see you, and then after you. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to ask, why does she live so frugally still?
Oh, she really doesn't have much money. Well, first of all, she hasn't gotten a penny from these, But she also, remember, she was fired from Elle. That was her main source of income for 26 years. For 3 years in the mid-'90s. She doesn't get residuals or anything like that. She probably did all right at the time, but it was, 3 years in the mid-'90s. And she lives alone. She's not impoverished. She's comfortable enough. She likes to live like that, though. That's the other point I want to make. That's how she chooses to live, and it's who she is. But
Shower and
the toaster she has a shower. It might have like bags of dog food in it, but I don't know. But now she's getting a lot of toasters. She doesn't cook for herself. She doesn't care about. She eats she'll open up a bag of raw spinach and just eat it like that. Or she's like, oh, Ivy, I just had my peanut butter and jelly. That's how she lives. she appreciates wonderful food and things and goes out and everything, but she's not, completely, but it's really how she likes to live. And she likes being out there in the country, and she affectionately calls her house the hovel.
So
Yeah.
I promised
Calls it
this woman
herself.
over here a
Sorry.
question, even though we're at time. Over to you.
Thank you. Correct me, because maybe I'm remembering it wrong, but I think I heard her say that she hasn't had sex since she was in that dressing room, and that shocked me more than anything.
And we wanted it to shock you. So it is shocking. She almost didn't realize it herself until, that's what she said. So she was 52 when Trump assaulted her, and she's never had sex again. She's never had a relationship since, and she did not put it together herself until she started seeing the therapist that Robbie had brought in to talk to her, and then when she was deposed herself. So it is. It's
Incredible that she was like putting it together during
the deposition. Yeah.
So how can people tell their friends, track along? Do you have a website, a social? You want
We
to?
do. We are just getting started with all of that. We have askejeanfilm.com and is our website. You can follow what festivals we're going to. We think we're going to have a theatrical release in the spring, please. But nothing else. We don't have any offers from streamers. No. We potentially theatrical distribution is different. Sheila is no longer at HBO, so she's an executive producer, and she's helped us raise money.
Yeah.
They're all scared of Trump. Absolutely. Of course.
We'll get it out there. We have ways.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna.
not part of your team, but
We're gonna make it
There are
happen.
ways. There are ways.
We will find a way, and we're definitely gonna find a way to get it out there. But please, our website. We're also on Instagram.
Yeah, follow and
Jean Film and
there will be many, many, many screenings. So
lingua franca.
and lingua franca. Okay, thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming.
Thank you all. Thank you.